lack isn't persistence, it's confidence. Your idea is working, that your idea is working, or proof of concept is constantly ideating all day, spending all day thinking about what the different things that you hope to achieve is. And it's not letting, and these are slowly lulling you into a desperate trap, a desperate sigh into your mind. And this is causing you to lose balance with who you are as a person. This lullaby has these gives you these thoughts that trap you, and you must break out of these pitfalls. Your brain can easily fall into its more than the sum of your experiences. It is who you are as a person. You must clear your mind first. Here are three ways to do that. To be able to let go of this lullaby that you get yourself trapped in, and not in this persistent and to be able to achieve the things that you've seen. After, for me, for example, after spending a day brain rotting on so many different things, you have to get back to a place where you want to clear your mind, so that half your day isn't consumed, it isn't end up doom scrolling on reels and taking the vast majority of your time. And this, what ends up happening is like you end up losing your willpower in the process. You must break free of this chain and hold on tightly to who you become in the process. To let go of that, so let go of that now, so you tomorrow is living, feeling, and becoming better as time goes on. Basically, what I'm trying to say, and what I wrote here, is that you're not going to be able to achieve things just by simple persistence. It has to be persistence plus an improvement over time. Once you learn to break free out of your once you break free out of your mind state of believing that by sitting back you're going to achieve your dreams, you're going to learn that it's not going to, that you will actually become better when you develop an actual skill, and not just and build on that skill daily, and not just end up sitting back and doing nothing for such a long time and not developing it into anything. The hardest part is taking that first step. Once you take that first step, it becomes like pushing a wheel down a hill, or pushing a snowball down a hill. It overlaps over time, and then you begin to develop those strong techniques and strong habits that will take you to that next level. For example, for me, whenever I struggle with doing something for like a persistent a long amount of time, I just I just go back, and I think of all the things that have developed me as a person, and I use those different skills to lift me up over time. It's easy to not know who you are in the process of becoming of becoming who you are. It's not easy. It's easy to not know who you are, because you might have a different set of belief systems, and these belief systems are going to be the things that are going to be stopping your progress when you're working. So you have to take advantage of the things that you know, and hold on, and not only that, you must go above it. You must take those skills and develop them even further in order to actually go to the next level, so that you're not stuck in one mode and not believing that you're ever gonna grow from it. So the bottom line is just learning how to break free of that trap of just believing that you're actually being productive when you're watching productive people be productive, and you're not actually contributing to it. You're actually you're just being a receiver of that information. You're just being a consumer, and being a consumer is just being close. Like it's like being a cattle on a farm. You're just eating all day, and you're not doing anything else, eating and pooping, and then eventually you just have your calves, and then you're just feeding your calves all day until you eventually go to the slaughterhouse. And we're all eventually going to go to the slaughterhouse, but I don't want to go to the slaughterhouse being one that never explored beyond the field that I was in, just because I was distracted by eating or what was in front of me. I want to be I don't want to be the cow on a VR eating. There's a story about a cow, how they're treating cows, how they're putting cows in VR headsets to simulate them in grass when they're really just eating out of feed. I don't want to be that cow with a VR headset over its head in 20 years, and then just consuming feed all day to try and escape this reality, because to me that's like a Black Mirror episode on Netflix. I think that it was just like it's being in just like an apartment alone, at 45 years old and not and just being on a VR headset all day and eating junk food, top ramen and trash all day just to heal that person in me that never developed is something that really scares me internally. I don't want to ever be in a state where I never explored the depths of who I am to the greatest extent because of the fact that I wanted to get so much momentary pleasure, and that momentary pleasure didn't lead to anything that was fully developed over time. And a lot of us in this society, and it's kind of scary how we're heading into that Black Mirror episode when everyone is just trapped in a glass mirror room, and they just have a bunch of screens just showing them all the different things they need to achieve for the day. You have one screen showing you your bank account, one screen showing you your energy levels, one screen showing you your calories, one screen showing you your productivity at work, one screen showing you your social life, one screen showing you how you're performing compared to other people, one screen showing you doing all these different things, all these different screens, and you never break free from that trap of a screen, and you just live in a constant reality where you're behind a bunch of different lenses, trying to get to a point where you feel comfortable to be alone, and you realize all that hard work that you put in was just 80% of it ends up going to the man, and then 20% of it goes to you, and that 20% is what you try to make use of, and you don't. At the end of the day, you realize you sacrificed your pride, you sacrificed your knowledge, you sacrificed your hard work, you sacrificed your experiences, and you sacrificed your efforts just to reach a point where there was no full comparison to what you wanted originally, to the point where you've completely or let go of, you've completely trashed all the thoughts that have once been in your mind, and this causes you to completely have no backbone anymore to be able to compete in a world where everyone is brainwashed into believing that they are achieving some irrelevant statistic, some irrelevant metric, and and they're just living for that metric or that KPI every day that they're just trying to hit every single day, and they never end up getting close to what their heart actually desires because they never fully chased what they desired. They ended up going through with the things that was on their mind that they believed would make them happy in the moment, and those things that they thought made them happy in the moment didn't take them anywhere. So that's why it's important to shed those beliefs and those thoughts around productivity, because ultimately you can't, if you give up one thing, life is all about sacrifice. When one area goes down, gets sacrificed, another one gets less sacrificed. So it's like it's all a balance of different sacrifices, and you must learn to find the balance where it's the one in your heart that you truly believe in, that becomes the thing that takes you to that next level. It's not the thing that you hear every day, or the thing that's just buzzing in your mind, or the thing that gives you that high, or that high, or that drunk feeling, so that you're not trapped in that state of daze, and realizing that state of daze is taking you nowhere. So by breaking free of those traps and breaking free of those pitfalls that come into the human mind every single day, you can learn to transform your reality from one where you're no longer in a place where you are trapped holding on to every single bits and pieces of the things that are giving you momentary pleasure, but you're sacrificing every day to become something that's beyond what you've ever dreamed of, so that even when you don't achieve it, even if you don't achieve it, you get close, and your heart is satisfied with going to that next level of portrayal, and that next level of giving into yourself, and because that sacrifice wasn't for someone else, or wasn't for that momentary pleasure, or wasn't for society's benefit, you end up benefiting as a result, and you realize you don't have to be anyone else that's been portrayed before, and you can just be yourself at the top, at the highest level, possible level, to become that ultimate version of yourself that no longer is held back by anyone else. And that's why to do that, it might seem very vague for you, but that's the whole point. Everyone has their own story to develop, and you must push the needle on what actually pushes you to that next level. So it's no longer something where you don't have power anymore, but it's something where the power is slowly being delivered back to you every single day, and you're no longer in a state where it's where you're inactive, and and you become active in the mind. Being active in the mind is what keeps the body and mind alive for a long time. That's the ultimate thing that anyone who's over 100 talks about. By keeping themselves, their mind and body activated over time, and not falling into these lulls of long inactivity, they progress as a result, and they live satisfactory lives. And that's all we want at the end of the day, to be able to live a satisfactory life and not be trapped in the state of inactivity, or feeling like we didn't go for all the things that we wanted in our life, whether it was a business idea, whether it was a relationship, whether it's a spiritual connection. By not trying to attain the highest level of clarity with those things, we won't we will be feeling like we haven't reached our full potential throughout our lives. And being on your deathbed with regrets is the saddest thing that most people talk about. And that's why you have to break out of this pattern, so that you're no when you're no longer trapped in your right now. A lot of people, when you're older, you're trapped in your body, but when you're younger, you're trapped in your mind. And you have to, by learning to find the balance between those two states, you will be okay, because you're gonna have a constant state of zen throughout your life. And that constant state of zen will be that calm that will take you to the next level of where you want to be. And you don't even need to get to that next level once you realize you're okay with how the day-to-day of life is. By learning to hold on to these things day to day, and enjoying the simple things, by like enjoying the sunset with your wife, or going on a walk on the beach by yourself, or reading a book, you will begin to hold on. You will begin to relish these moments and become a more wholesome human being. And you will realize that you don't need to do everything in one day, but you also don't realize that you don't need to consume everything in one day either. So you become like a balanced person, and that's all you really need to develop a clarity on this life. So you at least know that you went for the things that you wanted, and even if you didn't get there, you got something close to it. And that's all I wanted to share.